Tune into Nice Radio every Saturday at 7:30 a.m. for A View from the Outside, hosted by Brereton Horne. A View from the Outside takes a look at key issues affecting St Vincent and the Grenadines and gives a global perspective on how these issues are viewed. Host Brereton Horne will examine a variety of topics to enlighten, stimulate debate, and explore solutions. Hear the facts, hear the real-life stories, hear A View from the Outside. Join Brereton Horne at 7:30 a.m. every Saturday on Nice Radio for A View from the Outside.
This society needs a spectacle. It might help us to see some evil. This society needs a spectacle.
On A View from the Outside this week being the 1st of February 2020, we look at STOP, S-T-O-P, STOP, with the view being that with the recent spate of domestic violence and abuse perpetuated against women in St Vincent and the Grenadines, it is now a matter of urgency for this dehumanising, criminal and most despicable behaviour to stop. The Oxford Dictionary defines stop as to no longer continue to do something. And the Collins Dictionary states that if you stop something happening, you prevent it from happening or prevent it from continuing. Those definitions tell us that to stop is to no longer do something which you were doing. To stop is to prevent someone from doing something which they're doing. To stop is to prevent something from happening. To stop is to prevent something from continuing. Over 2 years ago, on the 19th of December 2017, we, here on A View from the Outside, covered the topic domestic violence. In that episode, which is available on YouTube, in addition to highlighting multiple examples of violence and abuse against women and girls in St Vincent and the Grenadines, we encourage Vincentians to work hard to remove this scourge which is affecting women and girls in the country. We also highlighted multiple examples of violence and domestic abuse against women and girls, which we said exemplified just a few of the many instances occurring in St Vincent and the Grenadines. The most recent spate of domestic violence and abuse which occurred in St Vincent and the Grenadines and which have flooded social media by way of audio and video clippings are alarming, and they suggest that the lessons have not been learnt and that not enough effort is being made to lessen, L-E-S-S-E-N, and stop this scourge which is eating away at the root of the Vincentian society. We, on A View from the Outside, continue to appeal to Vincentians to take this issue, the issue of domestic violence and abuse, seriously. Take it seriously and respond to it with the urgency it demands, and take steps towards lessening and stopping it. Two incidents happened recently which shocked the nation, the region, and the world. Earlier in the week, an audio recording surfaced on social media with the harrowing screams of a woman begging a man to stop. Stop beating her. Her scream for him to stop went totally unheeded. It has been reported that the man has been identified and arrested by the police. However, sadly, the woman informed the police that she will not provide a statement and she will not proceed with action because she does not want the man to go to court and to lose his job. Many believe that the woman's reluctance to proceed is primarily born out of fear of repercussion. Subsequent to that incident, just a few days ago, the news broke a man went to a secondary school and shot and killed his wife, who was at the school to pick up her son. Again, social media is replete with audio and video material of eyewitnesses describing the harrowing events which they saw, describing what they saw was happening at the time. Some of the recordings are said to be those of the voices of students of the school. Some of them sounded clearly upset and may well be traumatized from the incident. In relation to those two incidents, it has been said that there are many women in St Vincent and the Grenadines who are subjected to a similar treatment and who suffer in silence. Many believe that there are many children in St Vincent and the Grenadines who witness those types of incidents of violence and abuse with regularity. And many believe that the children's experiences of such violence and abuse negatively affect their behavior as young people and adults. Many have said that too many adults remain silent when they witness or are aware of such violent and abusive behavior. It has also been said that too many Vincentians sit comfortably in your homes and discuss another senseless murder or the violence and abuse against women and do nothing but just carry on life as normal. Too many Vincentians have become numb. Many have said that kindness and compassion have ebbed away and have been sapped out of the Vincentian society. Many have said that too many Vincentians are too quick to blame the victims and too quick to find excuses for the perpetrator. Too many are too quick and dismissive to say that such behavior is present in many other countries and therefore not unique to St. Vincent and the Grenadines. While it is a fact that domestic violence and abuse is not unique to St. Vincent and the Grenadines, we, as Vincentians, must be concerned and alarmed about what happens in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and we must be willing to take steps to stop them. Many have said that it is telling, frightening even, that no one leading the people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines has held a press conference condemning rape, abuse of women, and like crimes. In fact, it has been said that there is an eerie silence from officialdom. Surely, it is time for leadership on the issue. Surely, it is time for action to be taken of this kind of behavior. The battle cry has to be sounded to stop this behavior. Each and every Vincentian needs to be engaged on the issue. No Vincentian should feel removed from this affliction. It ultimately affects each and every person, both at home in St. Vincent and the Grenadines and in the Vincentian diaspora. It puts a stain on Vincentians in general and Vincentian men in particular. It creates an unfavorable impression of the country. It creates negative headlines about the country, including headlines such as St. Vincent and the Grenadines is a dangerous place to be a woman, and the dark side of this country. That is referring to St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Headlines which contribute to giving the country a bad name. Each and every Vincentian has a role to play and must play that role to stop this evil behavior. Education on the issue is a must. the home, the school, the church, the Christian coalition, all other religions, the place of employment, the police, the government, the wider society, all have their part to play in combating this scourge. Counseling is vital. The law needs to be engaged and amended when necessary to ensure that justice is done. There needs to be policies, government policies, targeted at solving the problem. The enabling environment needs to be created to encourage women to feel safe to report these incidents without fear of reprisal. The government, the voices of those running the country, need to act on the issue. When a country is faced with a national crisis, that is what is expected of its leaders. Currently, there is an eerie silence from the leader in St Vincent and the Grenadines. Those in government need to stop ignoring the crisis. They need to stop trying to shift their responsibilities elsewhere. They need to stop excusing domestic violence. Action needs to be taken so that the safety and security of all is guaranteed. St Vincent and the Grenadines, being a member of the United Nations Security Council, must act with urgency to provide safety and security for its own people. In November 2017, the world observed International Day for the elimination of violence against women. At that time, the United Nations reported that violence against women and girls is one of the most widespread, persistent, and devastating human rights violations in our world today. This is 2020, and the observation has been made by many that St Vincent and the Grenadines has not advanced much, if at all, from that position stated by the United Nations to stop violence and abuse against women. In fact, it has been said that things in St Vincent and the Grenadines in that regard have worsened and are getting worse. We, on A View from the Outside, say that as a nation, there's an urgency of now. The violence and abuse against women, which comes in many different forms, must stop. And as we, as Vincentians, take action to stop it, let us bear in mind the words of the late Kofi Annan, a former Secretary General of the United Nations. He said, and I quote, "Violence against women is perhaps the most shameful human rights violation, and it is perhaps the most pervasive. It knows no boundaries of geography, culture, or wealth. As long as it continues, we cannot claim to be making real progress towards equality, development, and peace." Unquote. Vincentians, the onus is on us. It's on each and every one of you, each and every one of us, to take action. Until next week, Justin and all of the listeners, this is Brereton Horne with A View from the Outside, with a reminder to send feedback as usual to aviewfromtheoutside@hotmail.com. You can also get us on Facebook at A View from the Outside and on YouTube at JMB Horne.